Show us mercy, help us, please. I keep calling, calling to the sky, searching, searching upon high. I keep calling, calling to the sky.
Hello and welcome to the World Predictions podcast. I am your host, Selina, and I'd just like to remind you you can subscribe to my monthly portal subscription for all the latest world predictions, updates, psychic readings, horoscopes, and much more. It's just £5.55 a month, and the link is under this video. I also want to remind you I am doing my May special offer reading, which is the Blue Moon reading. It is done at the end of the month. There are just a few spaces left, so hurry and book. The link is under this video, and it will actually be connected to your astrology for the blue moon we're going to be having on the 31st of May, which is a second full moon of the month. That is what a blue moon is, or the second full moon in the season. In this case, it's in the month of May. It will be a full moon in Sagittarius. So it will be lots of predictions done, 10 predictions done on what this blue moon will bring you for the following month ahead. So we've had a very eventful week this week in the news. Had a little bit of a break last week, so I wasn't feeling very well with my chronic fatigue. But I'm starting to pick up again, and I actually think a lot of that was to do with a timeline change with Uranus entering Gemini at the end of April, and also the Egyptian Sphinx's eyes regular star prophecy. So there's definitely been some sort of timeline shift. I personally feel I've shifted timelines or ascended more in some way. I was very energetically and psychically blocked on a couple of days last week, but it's much better now. Back doing all my world predictions and doing my readings as well. So those of you that are still waiting for reading, yes, I've nearly finished my backlog of readings. So we will start now with Keir Starmer, the UK Prime Minister. So all the predictions that came in over the last 2 weeks, and of course I said he would be ousted. He's going to get ousted literally this week. We have now 80 Labour MPs that are against him. I think West Streeting will do a leadership challenge, and then Starmer will be ousted. And I saw Mutiny aboard ship where everybody was trying to throw the captain, Starmer, overboard. This has now happened. And I also saw several MPs resigning, which they have. 4 resigned recently. I think there's going to be another one very soon, because they just don't want to be in that cabinet with Keir Starmer leading it, and they're just walking out. And I do think there will be a new Prime Minister. Who is it? It could be Wes Streeting, it could be Shabana Mahmood. Well, these are the 2 I think it could be. We'll have to wait and see. I do think it is still Labour that will be in the running. I don't think they'll be there very long. I'd say a year. And then there will be a change. But I'm going to do more predictions on that later in the podcast. So yes, Starmer, we'll wait and see. I think he could just be ousted literally this week. And when he is ousted, I'm going to post my original video, which states Keir Starmer will resign and there will be a new Prime Minister in April to the spring of 2026. And I've made that prediction. The video is dated as December 2024. I've got 2 videos I've made in 2024 with those dates. So I'm waiting to post them patiently. I'm also going to go out and celebrate with a nice lunch on either the day or the day after he resigned. So I'm patiently waiting. Second prediction that came in that is really, really kind of scandalous is Nigel Farage and his 5 million gifted money scandal from the cryptocurrency boss. So they're doing an investigation on this alleged scandalous amount of money of 5 million or whatever it was gifted to Nigel Farage. Now, I think he'll have to resign. I think he'll resign this month. This month going into June, you will see a new leader of the Reform Party. And that's why I always saw Nigel Farage resigning due to a big money scandal. I think I made this prediction like a year ago, for those that follow me. And people were saying, oh, will Farage be Prime Minister? No. When Reform get in, it will be someone new because Farage will resign due to money fraud scandals. So expect him to be resigning quite soon. I put this prediction in my May predictions because I think he could go May to June. I think there's more to be revealed there with that. I've never trusted him because if he's doing things like that, do you want him running the country? Probably not. Right, now we've had the oil explosion on the Hormuz Strait. UAE, United Arab Emirates, bombing an Iranian oil station with lots of oil in it. And that was one of my predictions for, I think it was from April, March or April, I think it was for April. And yes, happened. So there was a massive bombing, explosion, still a lot of chaos there. I've got another prediction with that actually coming in, which is that I think, and I put it in May's predictions, that I think Iran are going to bomb a US naval ship in a fatal way, and that's going to spark a massive war in the Persian Gulf and that Strait of Hormuz, and I think that will break the ceasefire, and I think that will happen in May this month. So we will wait and see what happens next. But yes, the war I feel is not close to ending there in the Persian Gulf. It is going to escalate in a massive way, and I see oil prices going up, petrol prices going up, fuel for airplanes being rationed, flights being, that's another new prediction I had, was flights are going to be rationed in the summer. Many flights will be cancelled, many airline companies will go bust, go bankrupt or liquidation. The whole tourist industry is going to have a lot of problems, and I'd say 50% of it will go into liquidation. Hotels, not in all countries, but in certain countries or certain flight paths, possibly Southeast Asia, Middle East, of course. I actually think they'll put a no-fly zone like they did with Iraq. Iraq has a no-fly zone. I think they'll put a US military. Trump will put a no-fly zone around a certain area of Iran or that area. There's going to be so many problems I'm seeing, especially in the coming couple months. So we will look out for that. Like a big the ship going down, US ship going down, sinking, fatalities. And then I see Trump doing a mass bombardment of Iran, all the military bases and infrastructure. So it is just going to turn really ugly. May going into June, especially like in the next 2 weeks. Now, I also I made a prediction, this was in my January, in my 2026 predictions, that there would be a new type of nuclear warhead, hydrogen atom bomb, so nuclear weapon, that would be pioneered and launched this year. And of course, Putin has said he is launching the Satan II nuclear missile. He's going to launch it. He's not actually going to launch it into the space or into the world, but he's going to test it, or it's going to come out and be available for use at the end of the year. Now, I don't think he's necessarily going to use it, but it's like a sign to say, look, I'm very powerful. And it's a very state-of-the-art nuclear bomb. That's what I saw. They're made with hydrogen and God knows what they put in them. Atoms. Satan 2, the name says it all. Let's hope he doesn't launch it, like actually launch it into planet Earth, because we'll all be dead. The whole world will just die. So hopefully, well, I don't think he will, but it's more like symbol of status. Now, my other prediction was that there'd be some sort of announcement with spying, or the government, something with a government announcement with China. And I think I can't remember the original prediction video, but it said, so I said something about, I think I said spying or something to do with the government, like an announcement with something underhanded. Anyway, there was 2 spies. It was actually the biggest spy thing they'd ever caught, or the only time they'd had these 2 spies. There were British spies spying on China, and there was 2 of them, but it was like it'd never been seen before, this type of thing. So that came in, put that in there. Now, some for the lighter or sort of more, well, they're not really lighter, some of them. How can we call them? Other predictions, general predictions. We've got Trump falling over at the alleged assassination attempt. Now, I'm not sure if that was fully real. Now, I thought it was real. I'm not sure if it was fully real now. When I look back, I think they keep missing, don't they? So I'm not sure they're real, some of these. But obviously I still do the predictions on them. So I look back and I think, I'm not sure it was real, but he did fall over. Interestingly, they got Vance out of his chair first. They didn't seem as bothered with Trump, but he fell over and then they got him up again. So that was one of my predictions. He'd fall over at a public event. And then I saw something to do with a contraption or something he'd be wearing under his clothes, or something being revealed, like to do with medical issues. And of course they've photographed him with what they're saying is allegedly a diaper, so a nappy. So I don't know what you call it, some sort of incontinence. It did look like a diaper, actually. It didn't really look like an incontinence pad. It looked more like an actual diaper, but like a giant pamper thing. When you get those adults that like dressing up as babies, that's what it kind of looked like. I don't know what it was, but it obviously is alluding to the fact that he might have a medical problem. So I'll kind of leave you to make of that what you will. Now, we had something to do with, I made a prediction to do with Starmer and a twist, a twist in the tail. And a news article recently this week said for Keir Starmer, the UK Prime Minister, there's a plot twist. So that I got the news headline, twist. There's so many twists in the Starmer Gate thing that's going on that it's so hard to even remember what all the twists are. I can't even remember what that was about, but you know what I mean. It was, another twist coming in. Floods in Bangladesh. There's been a lot of heavy rain, flood warnings, floods. So I saw a lot of trees areas being flooded. So there was some flooding warnings and some flooding in Bangladesh. And oil prices increasing. I saw oil prices increasing in May, and they have, and that was due to the war. They suddenly shot up. I think they'll go up even more, and petrol as well will go up even more. Now, for some new predictions. This virus they found on the ships begins with H. I can't even remember what it's called. It's a new one. I had the name somewhere, but I can't remember that H virus thing. I think that's just that will go in a couple of months. It will be contained. I think they are making it bigger than what it is to put fear in people for traveling. A lot of what they're reporting in the news at the moment is to put fear in you. And then there's another one with norovirus they said they had. Now, these outbreaks they happen, but I don't see it being a massive worldwide pandemic. But I think they'll make it like it's really scary for a couple of months, then it will just disappear. No one will talk about it anymore. So if those are worried, if those of you are worried about that virus, don't worry. Now, going on to the Prime Minister, Labour and general elections. So Labour will run for another year. They'll be catastrophic again with the local elections next year, next May, and then there'll be a general election called. I don't think there'll be any oustings or anything like that. Next year it'll be a general election, Reform will win, and it'll be a new Prime Minister that we don't know a lot about. So it's not Nigel Farage. I'm also seeing that around that time, after Reform get in, that the Mayor of London, Sadiq will resign and there'll be a new mayor. I'm not sure if that's to do with, like, because there's a new Prime Minister, new party, and they want him out, or I don't know, it could be a scandal. I don't see him there very long. I think it's around the timing, same timing as when Reform gets in. There'll be a new mayor. Now, this could be Idris Elba. It could be the woman that was a female candidate. But I've got a strong energy with Idris Elba. We'll see, or maybe not. We'll see who gets in. But Sadiq Khan will go. And as I said before, jet fuel rationing, flight rationing, possibly petrol rationing. I'm seeing a lot of queues and gridlocks for petrol stations. June, July for that. Then massive protests. Yeah, angry protests. Just in time for my new single. It's called Revolution. So I'll probably be releasing that around that time. Yeah, it's good. It's a good timing for it because I'm seeing kind of not good things on the streets, especially in London, New York, like cities, like big cities. I'm seeing like protests. Yeah, it's all to do with this war and the fuel crisis. It's going to be a fuel crisis, and I'm seeing a lot of droughts and famine in Iran, especially after Trump bombs all the infrastructure. May, June for the bombing. Now, to finish off, we've got Pluto retrograde. So Pluto went retrograde in Aquarius on the 6th of May. It goes direct on the 15th of October this year. What does it mean? It means a very strong energy of transformation. You can imagine Pluto retrograde is a bit like an army assault course. So your destination is the transformation, but you're having to go through an army assault course to get there through the retrograde. So it is challenging. So have a look at which house the Pluto in Aquarius is, which house was, where the Pluto in the Aquarius is in your chart. In my chart, it's my 4th house. It's not quite my 5th house, it's my 4th house, and that is to do with home, family, roots. So yeah, I'm not sure how that works for me, but I'll have to kind of analyze it further. But yeah, so look at the Pluto retrogrades. It's also showing us with the Pluto retrogrades a lot of revelations, a lot of scandals, Nigel Farage, Starmer, lots of things in the cabinet going on. It's creating lots of shifts of energy. It's going to be a very interesting retrograde. You'll feel the effect, so especially over the next week. Kind of May is the energy, the whole of May is that energy, and that's all that kind of building up to an escalation in war. But you mustn't kind of let all the negativity get to you. There's so much negativity in the news and the media. And I would have to say, last week, for me to have not done a podcast and not been able to read much, I am like clockwork. I work so much. I do this full time, and for me to have to not do the podcast because I was so zombified out, that must mean there is a big heavy energy on Earth. There's a very big heavy energy. I think it's much better after the blue moon. So after the 31st of May, June is better energetically, but you're going to get a lot of problems with the fuel crisis, petrol, protests, travel, war. So these are themes that to expect, oil prices going up, etc. It wouldn't surprise me by the end of June, July if there's a stock market crash. We'll have to look out for that. And that was one of my predictions for 2026. So there you have it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you as always next week for some more predictions. Bye for now.